Wait, is my mic on?
Guys, are we really doing this?
Fuck it. Let's just start. Hey guys, welcome back to Sippin' Through Life. It's your girl Deani, and I'm here with none other than
Gabby.
Hi, it's me. It's Megan. No, Gabby, I didn't even have my mic. Did you not catch that?
No, I didn't. I was like waiting for you to say something. I'm like,
No, I'm trying to set up.
but Gabby.
Hi, it's Megan.
And guys, it's officially time. I think I've been waiting for this episode for like over a month.
I was gonna say like months.
I am so excited. We are doing our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City
Hoot.
recap. Get in, guys. We're going to Salt Lake City. But before we dive in, we are going to share what our sip of the week is.
Yeah, and I'm so excited about this one. It is Starbucks Ice Brown Sugar Oat Milk Shaken Espresso.
And I'm very excited. I've never had espresso.
And it's so good because this is Starbucks' first time having oat milk. And it's Oatly. And everyone knows I love oat milk.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
Now you guys know.
Ready? And
Go.
oh
my God, heaven. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Tough crowd.
it just tastes like coffee and cinnamon.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it delish?
It's lovely.
I
It
knew
tastes
Deanna
like
was gonna
straight
hate it.
coffee beans.
Yeah, I saw her face.
I love it. It's so good. Do you like the oat milk?
I don't know
I don't
what I'm
taste the oat
tasting.
milk.
Oh.
This needs like some cream.
No.
It needs some. Yeah, I feel like I need sugar in it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've just noticed I don't like my coffee like really sweet. Like I
I like
drink
it to
black
taste
coffee.
like a milkshake. That's
Oh,
how I
what?
like coffee.
Okay, all right.
This baby's gonna be like moving
What?
so much after.
Can
these.
you
This
have
is so much-
espresso?
Right.
Probably. Yes.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I won't drink it all.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like Megan and you like something strong, definitely try it. I don't think it's awful. It wouldn't be my first choice.
Oh my gosh, I am obsessed. So I got it on I guess Wednesday, and I was sitting in class drinking this, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm ready to participate." Like, Jesus, calm down.
The students in the class are like, "What the fuck's her problem?"
Okay, she never talked. Why is she like babbling now? It's like, oh sorry, I'm just 3 espresso
You're like,
shots in.
yeah, and I'm almost done in like 25 minutes
Guys,
later.
hold on, I'm
She's
about to get to the conclusion part.
Yeah.
1 second. So bad.
By the end of the class, she's just sitting there
like,
like,
she's just like, thank
with
you,
a
Megan,
migraine.
for teaching today.
You're welcome. Oh my god.
All right, so Salt Lake City.
Oh yeah, okay. We're here. We're here for the Salt Lake.
So excited. Okay.
What, do you want to lead us on this? Because I have so
Yeah.
many thoughts,
Yes.
but I figured you would be ready
Because it's
to...
three-part episode.
Right,
Yes.
3-part episode, but I kind of wanted to talk about just some major things that happened in the season that we didn't get to discuss because we were on break.
Yes, sounds
And
good.
the
Goes
first
with me.
thing being Whitney with Jen at the party. Who do you think was wrong? And for the listeners, I hope that you guys have caught up, but basically Jen threw her husband a birthday party.
Yeah.
And Whitney thought that it was the right time to let Jen know that she had heard from Mary, this is sounding like a wheel, that Meredith and Lisa are afraid of Jen.
Yeah.
But the way that she worded it, she said they're talking shit about you.
So objectively, Whitney probably shouldn't have done it at the party, but I'm not a Jen Shaw fan, so I didn't care. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt.
You see, I think Jen has a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing any of her behavior, but Whitney should not have done it there. Especially, she was drunk.
That's what my problem
She couldn't
was.
even get words out whenever she wasn't even talking to her. She's talking
Right.
to Heather and struggling to say what she wants to say.
Right.
I know.
And then drunk Heather comes in.
I mean, but that's why she said it, because she was drunk.
But Heather was also
Yeah.
just like, you are beating around the bush. If you don't want to do it now, don't do
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
But like, don't sit here and pull her away from this party that she's having fun at and be like, yeah, so
just like-
basically what I had heard, like, just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, like, if you're going to start drama, start it.
Right.
Don't, like, beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know. I just don't like Jen, so I was just like, whatever. You, Jen, have ruined so many gatherings. Like,
Very true.
I just, you get what you get, or you get what you put out. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not a nice way to
And Jen
say it.
could have controlled herself so much more
in every episode.
in every episode. But I mean, this particular moment, you you were the one talking about how important this party was. And, like, everyone reminding her, you threw the damn glass.
Right. I also feel like if that were me, and this is the way that I would have handled it, I would have been like, thank you for letting me know. I will discuss this with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I would have gone back to the party.
Me too.
Because she's like, you know, we haven't celebrated Coach Shaw in so long. We don't really get to do anything big. We don't really get to see each other. Our relationship is so fragile, and we most of the time are just on FaceTime. And then,
but that's not Jen Shaw's way. It's everything
she made it
has
about
to make
her.
it herself. Yeah, it wasn't about her husband anymore at that point. It was about her own emotions.
But even when she throws parties, it's about her.
AKA the first episode when she walked out and was like sashaying around
and hired the dancers that have no relation to Meredith.
But then also,
but Meredith's a team sport.
I did not realize.
I didn't realize
it was Lisa's birthday. That was Lisa's birthday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she threw the party for Meredith. But
on
again,
Lisa's birthday.
Meredith even said she wasn't expecting something that big. She was uncomfortable with the fact that was happening.
A step and repeat. Yeah. She had a step and repeat. Ridiculous.
I don't even know. Can we talk about Vegas?
Okay, that was my next point.
Okay, good.
Okay, Vegas. You go ahead.
Oh, that was just another moment. I was like, Jen, that was so uncalled for to come into the dinner party and just lose your shit. And like, they were just calmly saying something you didn't like. Like, you just didn't want them to become friends with Whitney again. And so then she stormed out, hit Heather. And it was just like, and then this is what got me when she was like, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm going home. It's emotional manipulation at its finest. And then guess what? She didn't go home.
Right.
Like, that just drives me insane.
And then when they were at
you play the victim when you act a fool.
She was
like
she
a psychic?
I feel like she was like
she was like trying to be a therapist.
I think
and
almost like
but
a
she was not a
holistic
therapist.
No. I don't know.
The whole time she was
a
conducting the group session, I literally was like, I can't watch this. This is so wrong.
But
because it almost felt like she was like teaming everyone against Jen, which I'm not saying Jen didn't do a lot of that herself,
but you don't.
But she was kind of
therapy.
like instigating a little bit to like have them all be on one side against her.
But that pissed me off when Jen was mad at Heather.
Yes,
I was like,
everybody clearly has a reason to not trust Jen. Jen, the way that she started that rumor about Meredith, well, it wasn't a rumor, but Meredith didn't want to share that part of her marriage, and for Jen to go out and start sharing it as though it's her business to tell. If Jen was having these marital problems, she has been having marital problems, and if other people were talking shit about her marriage,
she'd flip a shit.
She would have blown somebody's house up.
Like real talk. I just get like frustrated because Meredith didn't like when Lisa was like, I'm her best friend. I can't believe you didn't tell me that. It's like, okay, but you're best friends, but she's not obligated to tell you every little part about her life, especially since she's not comfortable yet, even with like herself, like talking about it. And like, I don't know. It's like annoying that people feel like they have a right to know everything about you if they're your best friend.
But I think that Meredith would have never told anybody. I don't think that she would have even told Jen if Jen had not seen it.
100% agree.
That's true.
100%. Yeah.
So that's why she hadn't told Lisa, because
she was never going to tell anybody.
Yeah. Right. It was between her and
her husband,
Seth.
But Jen was really smart about who she talked to about these things. She talked to Whitney and Heather. She never talked to Lisa about it, or Mary. Obviously not Mary. But,
I mean, Jen is a smart woman.
That's what she is. But
she
it goes
knows
back to how
she's calculated.
Yeah.
She is grade A manipulation.
Yes.
And you can see that with her friendship with Heather. Because Heather continuously defends her for no reason at this point.
Heather's too good of a friend.
She's too nice of a person.
Yep.
And it's like you gotta learn to walk away at some point.
I personally think Jen manipulates the fuck out of her husband because of how, like, I feel like it didn't seem like he saw these bits and pieces of her, but it's like it was whenever she needed to be picked, like, put together again in a sense.
But I do think that her husband feels a lot of guilt for not being there.
Yes. So he lets these behaviors slide.
Yes, but I do think seeing it play out on national TV, I'm interested to see how season 2 goes, because I do think seeing it play out on national TV, because if he's not there and he's only seeing the sweet, nice Jen that everybody was
going to take his wife's side, like,
which I understand. Yeah.
No, but she hired a good PR team for the reunion.
That's what I was going to say. Okay.
She blew up a couple times, but not like Jen Shaw.
No. Okay, but this is what I was going to say before we got into the reunion.
Yeah.
At Heather's opening, the fact that Heather literally had to hold Jen's hand through that apology, had to walk her through the apology, means that Jen did not want to apologize.
Yep.
She didn't even know what she was apologizing for.
Jen doesn't think she does anything wrong. She only reacts out of emotion.
That's not true, because her apology to Meredith, I do think, was actually genuine.
Okay.
When Meredith called her out and said
at the reunion.
No, at the opening, when Jen was like, "Can we talk?" and Meredith's like, "I don't really want to talk to you. You were sharing these things about my private life. You were blah, blah, blah." And when Jen goes, I recognize that I was wrong and I truly am sorry. I think that was the only genuine apology.
Okay.
Because she was not sorry to Heather. And even at the reunion, she did... Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm yelling.
No, it's okay.
Even at the reunion, she didn't think that she did anything wrong with Heather.
Yeah.
Which goes to show that Heather has never had a backbone
Andy
with
even
Jen.
said,
never.
He goes, she brought it up now, a year later, and you're apologizing now because we just brought it up?
Right. Never once while watching the show air did you feel... Oh shit.
Yeah,
I am really sorry. That was wrong. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a good friend to you. Never once did she feel that.
No. Yeah, I mean this show is
It was intense.
there's so much going on, like oh my god.
The reunion.
All right. Where are you going to start? Cuz
Well, I wasn't necessarily going to start with the topic of discussion from like episode 1, 2, or 3. I was going to talk, I guess it is episode 1. I was very distracted by Lisa Barlow's hands.
they were orange.
Very, very distracted. And the fact that nobody said anything.
I mean, I wasn't distracted because I've been there. I can't
with
judge.
your feet.
I can't judge a fellow person with bad spray tan.
But that was for how much money?
No, I know.
And how confident you say you are. I would have walked back in there and be like, "Get this crap off my hands."
I know.
Like they were orange.
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't
The
understand.
palms of her hand. It would have
Yes.
been fine the top, I get it. Okay, a spray tan. But your palms.
I bet she
look
like
dirty.
just did it really quickly, like a quick application just to go on.
Use some gloves.
I know.
Don't know. That was...
It was bad.
It was very distracting. Yeah. It was very, very distracting. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. Gabby, where do you want to start with the reunion?
Well, I guess I'm kind of going a little quick here, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I think the attitude that distracted me the entire time was Lisa. She kept interrupting, kept talking about herself nonstop. And it's like, no one is saying you're not a hard worker. No one is saying that you haven't done well for yourself. All they are saying is you're kind of a shitty human being when it comes to other people besides yourself. And, I don't want to talk poorly of how she is as a mother. I think she tries really hard for her family and for her husband. But it's like, you have to understand people don't see what's happening inside.
Right.
You're only allowing them to see the outside of you. And what they're seeing, as I said, is kind of a shitty person, as in how you treat your friends.
Yes. I was very taken aback
Yeah.
with how she came out swinging episode 1 of the reunion, because during this show, I think that she was one of the leaders that picked the cast and got them to come to Salt Lake City. So I think she believed that she would be the actual star of the show. And when she saw how little time she was getting and that it was more Heather and Jen than herself, and it's also a really big deal who sits next to Andy at the reunion. Whoever sits next to Andy at the reunion is typically deemed the star of the season.
Wait, who was sitting next to Andy?
So it was Heather on one side and
yeah.
Jen on the other side. So the fact that Lisa had a hand in putting the show together and she didn't even get to sit next to Andy, I think that was an ego problem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's a very selfish person.
Yeah.
And so she went on she started the show to become a star, and then she didn't get there.
Yeah.
Because she, at the end of the day, she didn't really add any dynamics to the show. It was just her show.
But I
But
think
she's
that
boring. It's just about her business.
I do think the fact that she came out swinging at the reunion is going to help her stay around for season 2.
You think it was like a PR stunt sort of?
Yeah, because now people are going to be like, wait, where
Why
was
is she
this
kind of
side
being
of
mean?
her during the
Because she was
show?
chill.
I
I
don't-
liked her on the show. Like, she was like kind of annoying at points, but I was just like, all right, cool, do your thing.
Yeah, she was
Like,
very monotone, nothing to brag about, but I
don't
didn't
know.
bother.
I don't think I would agree. Like, seeing how she acted at the reunion.
Well, now
I
it's
would
like
be
a different
completely fine not seeing her in season 2.
Yeah, I get
Like,
that.
I think she added, which I mean, I know it's the point of the drama, all that, but it's like, I don't know. I think she just instigated certain things, and
Why is she lying about not knowing Heather? It's fucking annoying.
it's annoying.
very strange.
When
So
you're
just
saying
don't
she
lie.
played a role in who would be on the show,
you
she
picked Heather.
She recommended Heather.
Yes.
How do you not know her then?
Right.
She
that's
probably
the
picked
thing.
Heather and was like, Heather's gonna be like a loser. No one's gonna like her. And then she turned out to be the star of the show.
But I think it goes back to what Heather said. This was like part 3, I think, whenever the husbands were on. And they're talking about divorce and how, you know, how much obviously it affected Whitney and Heather and their previous marriages. And I'm not sure what's Whitney's husband's name?
Oh God.
Shit,
I want to say
don't know.
Tyler, but I don't think that's right.
Tom,
No.
Todd, Scott.
No.
I forgot his
I
name.
can see his name. I can see his face.
I
in my
see his
head.
face and everything, but like
Yeah.
they went through divorces that were really hard.
Yeah.
And then
Because they also had an affair together.
yes,
So
and
it's
like they were like, you know, they got their letters from the
Yeah.
church and all that. But then whenever Lisa and her husband are talking about, oh yeah, like we were divorced. He was divorced before. You know, both of our parents. Justin, yeah.
Justin.
Both of our parents are divorced. This and that, like. You take it so casually, but like when you talk about your marriage, you talk about it so highly, and like you just make. I think because they're married in the church, she does think she's better than them because they're divorced.
And they are sealed in the church.
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
I do,
Sealed.
it
That's
was
what I meant.
very frustrating for me to see how Lisa was gaslighting Heather when it came to Heather's experiences.
Yes.
Do I think there's a lot more to Heather that she can show, hopefully, in seasons going forward? Yes. I don't want her entire storyline to be about the fact that she's divorced and left the
Same.
church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for season 1, that was something that it was a traumatic experience for
Yeah.
her, and Lisa downplayed that experience time and time again, and it was rude.
No, it was rude.
Yeah.
And she was the only single one on the show too. So
Yeah.
like she was.
Which that's already a different ball game.
Yeah, it is. All the wives had their husbands to back them up and be like, yeah, their behavior was a bit erratic or a little like unlike them, but this is who they really are. Like she had no one defending. She has to be the defense the entire time for herself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was so beautiful when she was talking about like what she's going to teach her daughters.
I wanted to talk about that.
And I just thought it was like so
yeah.
sex positive and just
Yeah.
like she was so confident in what she's gonna like what she was saying and like I was like to see that from episode 1 where she was like could barely talk
Yeah.
about sex and like
Yeah.
just being open about things, like then to being like my daughter's gonna do this, but then I felt like the room shifted, like people were just kind of like okay, like you could tell some of the women were like that's weird, like I don't like
Yes.
that. And I was just kind of like
Mary was shocked.
Mary was shocked.
Yeah.
was shocked
But I
that
was like-
Heather would want her children to have positive sex experiences.
Yeah, when she was like have multiple partners.
Yeah.
And Mary was like
And I do think
I get it, but-
with Salt Lake City being a lot of the culture
Mm-hmm.
and the tradition in Salt Lake City is more conservative, is very religious
Mm-hmm.
and Christian value based. I think that is shocking to hear someone say,
Yes.
I want my children to have positive sex experiences, but it's because of the
culture.
Heather realizes the negativity and the trauma that can
Yes.
come from being shamed
Yes.
about wanting to be curious about sex and wanting to have those positive experiences. She even said that she got married extremely young and was basically made to feel like my only job is to have children.
Yep.
I can't have any other passions outside of being a mom.
Yeah.
And so I think the fact that she wants to show her children that they can have their own businesses, they can do whatever they want. I am so team Heather.
Me too.
It's
I love
ridiculous.
I love
know.
her.
I love her. And I will say, sorry, I feel like I'm talking a
No,
lot.
you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
But I will say that whenever people come onto Housewives, because this is not my first time watching Housewives, you guys know I'm a Housewives fan. a lot of people have a certain, Lisa, for example, have a certain idea of how they want to be portrayed.
Yes.
So they
Yes.
act a certain way.
Yes.
Jen came in bat swinging because she wanted to be like almost a Nene Leakes or somebody that's quotable and memeable and
Got
all
it.
this stuff. So she wanted to be a character. She was playing a character.
Yeah.
Heather came in like very authentic,
Just
very
genuine.
so funny.
And that's why she rose to the star.
Yeah,
because
that's why
people
Rihanna even
connect.
loves her.
People connect to
Rihanna-
people that
that's
are
true.
authentic and just themselves. Like, you don't have to put on such a show. Like,
And I think it
but
goes.
I wonder if I think this is just Jen, if I'm being honest.
I don't think it is.
Really?
I mean, I do think there is some truth in how Jen was acting, but with how erratic her behavior was, and I am going to say the word aggressive,
Yes.
I do think that part of that was an act in the beginning. And then when she saw how it was cut and portrayed on the show, it's going to be hard for her to come back from that because that's how people have perceived her now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think. I don't know. I feel like there's some truth in that behavior.
Oh, I definitely think there's truth in it, but I don't think...
You think she, like, hammed it up a bit for the show?
Yes, because
Okay.
I don't think that she would... Also, I was very shocked. I didn't know what she did for work when they talked about it.
Right? It was interesting. I
shocked.
was like, wow,
Because
that's how
then
you
I-
make your money.
I know.
Because then I understood why she had so many assistants, because before I thought she was just a housewife planning parties.
Me
Why do
too.
you need 8 assistants?
People around you, 20, and hair and makeup every day.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did understand once she was talking about how she almost does brokerage
Yeah. Brokerage.
deals and stuff. I don't really understand it, but
Her job, though, also was that those ads you see
yeah.
on basically what everyone says about those third parties taking your information and having
Yeah.
all that. She's one of these people
Yeah.
that has her information.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
She's in advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay.
Okay. Can we talk about the fact that they completely glazed over Mary admitting that
She lied?
well, and here's the thing. I don't think that it was a lie. I think that when she was talking to Whitney, she was sharing her opinion as I'm doing with you guys. Oh, yes, Whitney. Lisa and Meredith talk to me all the time, and we were talking about Jen's behavior. And the sad thing is it makes me uncomfortable because I can definitely tell that they are scared of her, but they're just too afraid to tell her.
Yeah.
And then Whitney goes, oh my gosh, like they're talking shit about Jen. I have to tell Jen. And so then when Mary's at the reunion and she goes, yes, I was just sharing my perspective and my opinion and it just got out of control. They completely glazed over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they should have used, like, intimidated, not scared.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
But isn't that the same thing?
It is.
They're
but
synonyms.
they're synonyms, but, like, intimidation is, like, I don't know. Scared reminds me of, like, scared just has a negative I don't know. Maybe not.
I feel like, but I don't know. I feel like for how strong those women are and how, in a sense, powerful they are in their own lives. Like, to me, I'd rather someone be, I don't know if I'd want someone to be intimidated of me.
I do.
You know what I mean?
don't think that they are
Yeah.
intimidated or scared of Jen. I think they are fearful of her reactions because
Yes.
it's so
Yeah.
0 to 100.
You just don't know where
And I think
it's gonna
all of
be.
them are except for Mary. I truly do not think that Mary is afraid of Jen or any of her reactions. She like is a trigger for Jen and she likes it that way.
yeah.
And they all know it, that she is. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see if they actually, because they mended things
Yeah.
and, said sorry, all that fun stuff. We'll see how real that is in season 2.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I love how Coach Shaw acted, or not acted, but how he spoke to Robert Sr. And just like apologizing and like, to me, like, Jen, you gotta take ownership of stuff, but like listen to how your husband speaks, and like that is an apology.
Yes.
Right there, how he spoke, and I'm sorry my wife said that, like there was we spoke about this, like, and even whenever Jen finally said sorry to Robert Sr. herself, the way he responded to her was just like, don't worry about it, hun. Like if her husband did not say anything to Robert directly, he would not have acted that way towards Jen.
But this does make me question Jen's marriage. When people go on Housewives, either their marriages get better or they tend to
true.
suffer and they'll get a divorce. And I think if Jen continues on the path that she's on, Coach Shaw, the fact that he has to keep apologizing for his wife and the things that she's saying, I don't know if it's going to last if she doesn't change her behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just unexcusable. How often am I going to keep apologizing for you when I didn't even do this?
Yeah, I'm just more interested, like, what their marriage looks like. Like, is she volatile with him?
I really don't think so.
I feel like she's more submissive with him.
Yeah.
But because when he's not around, she feels like she can be more dominant and a
Maybe.
a
Yeah.
bitch.
And who knows, but maybe he's a very laid back guy. At least it seems like it. We don't know how he looks when he's truly angry.
Yeah, that's what
Right,
I was gonna
because
say.
So that's probably why she's like, I just know not to push his buttons.
Because when she was crying to Whitney about my marriage, you ruined the party. No, she didn't. Your reaction ruined the party. And she's my husband hasn't spoken to me for days. You invited his entire family
and colleagues and friends, like people he hadn't seen in years.
But
and your children were there.
And your children.
I mean, not to take, like, Jen's side because, like, her behavior is inexcusable, but I do wonder if, like, her husband's so laid back and chill that it bothers her to a degree that he doesn't understand her emotions. Like, she's over here like, this is getting me so heated, and you're just like, chill out. Like, this is not a big deal. So I wonder if, like, that plays.
I'm sure it does.
But I am
It
on
has
Jen's
to.
side with her father's funeral.
Yes,
Yeah.
And the fact
100%
that I don't think that Coach Shaw even really talked to her about how she was feeling and
That's why I don't
dealing
really
with the grief
I don't know if I love him.
of her father dying.
That's a huge moment in someone's life.
That's very true.
And, you're
the
supposed
fact
to be
that
their
she's-
partner.
Right, the fact that she's the oldest child, so a lot of that funeral planning and she was
left on her.
Left on her, and then as the oldest child, she was probably checking on her siblings and so concerned with their grief. You left her with no one. And so does she have a drinking problem? I do think that she does have a
Yes.
drinking and an anger management problem that she needs to get help for.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, the drinking just exacerbates the anger.
Yeah.
Because most of the time she is angry, they're at a party drinking.
Yeah.
And she finally feels like she can speak her mind on things that have been bothering her. I think that she understands that his job is stressful, and so she doesn't want to add more stress onto that. But she's then suppressing
her
her
needs
feelings.
aren't being met. That's
exactly.
the thing. So then, like, it's one of those things where I wonder if it's like, okay, I'm gonna like please him 24/7 because I understand he has such a stressful life, and so like on the outside she's saying that, but then when he doesn't reciprocate, it's like internally she's like suffering, and then so she can't take it out on him because I don't know, she doesn't feel comfortable enough. So
Yeah.
then she takes it out on all her friends around her.
Yeah.
And like that's why the little things that happen, she's just like, I'm not getting the support from my husband, and now I feel like my friends aren't supporting me, and so it just exacerbates into like this whole mess where it's like, okay, you overreacted, but I just wonder, there has to be something way deeper for her to like feel so insecure all the time about someone talking about her. It's like interesting because she wants all these friends around her, but she doesn't know how to be a friend.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, she does pay everyone that's around her.
Yes, she does.
That aren't the ladies from the show.
Right.
You know? But
But that's not a friendship because they can't talk back to her.
Exactly,
It's a
they
power
can't.
dynamic now.
Yeah.
but I was gonna say, talking about how like you were saying, Deani, that the show like makes it, you either make it or break it if you're in a marriage. I think it's very interesting that Meredith and Seth are, I mean, I think it's great for them that they're working through things and are better. But I guess I was just kind of shocked because I was not a fan of his in the beginning. Like, I was really upset with what was going on, and then so much more opened up about their marriage. And I don't know. I'm really happy for Meredith. I like her.
I love, she's my second favorite minus Heather.
I
I really like her.
I do like Meredith, but this reunion she gave me, yes, Meredith, give me absolutely nothing. She was
quiet.
She was quiet. I think she was very pissed. I think that she was very annoyed at how she was portrayed and how her relationship was portrayed because her children are able to watch this.
Yep.
And I don't think that she wanted her marriage to be a focal point at all. I think that she wanted her business and maybe the dynamic of being in a long distance marriage to be the focus, but I don't think more so her dating and their separation.
Yeah.
And I think that she was still very frustrated over that.
I do too.
And I can excuse me again, it's the coffee. I can respect her not wanting to show all that,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
You're on a reality
you're on a reality TV
Yeah.
show. Like, as what she and Seth said, and then Heather said, you were faced with putting these issues out there and talking about them. And for Meredith, she said, like, I was the one who would just dust things under the rug and think that's how it was going to be. I couldn't do that on the show.
But I think that goes back to her childhood and talking about how traumatic her parents' divorce was for her. And I think that that's why a lot of her marital problems, she, instead of engaging and actually talking through and arguing through the problems, she's just like, I'm disengaging. I'm not gonna.
You see that with every fight with the women too.
Yeah, I'm disengaging. It's my favorite thing to say.
She said,
now.
I really liked it when, and I didn't really like it, but I felt bad, but I thought it was very insightful when she was like, I can't be around when people start yelling and like it gets really chaotic. It triggers me. I feel like unsafe and like vulnerable, and so like she has to run and hide, and it's like that's a very natural response. Like you either run or you fight, and so for her to understand like, oh, things are shifting in the room, I need to leave. Like she's protecting herself, like.
And again, I respect that. I do.
But for entertainment
for entertainment and you're on a show, maybe this isn't the best
platform.
Yeah. And also whenever like Heather and Lisa were getting on, like, you know, going back and forth with each other about Lisa's friendship with Meredith and how, like, I mean, Lisa got all heated as usual, honestly, how the reunion was going. But Meredith she just got up and left.
I like Meredith because she's like, you're my friend, you know that.
And I get that. That's where it's just like, to me, like, I would have been like, can you guys just stop?
Okay, but
I understand what you're saying, Heather. That's how you would react.
But that's not how I'm reacting.
But I'm not saying anything, so you shouldn't even bring it up.
I disagree. Yeah, I was not Team Heather on that moment.
I was kind of upset because I'm like, Heather, everything you're saying is 100% right, but you aren't the person
who's experiencing it.
Who's in the friendship with the other person.
And so, yes, that's how you would take it, Heather, but that's not how Meredith sees it. And even if that is how she's seeing it, she's not speaking on it. So let her talk about it. People kept putting words into Meredith's mouth, and I was like,
I wish she would have kind of stuck up for herself a little bit more.
Okay, but she doesn't.
But am I the only one that picked up on the tension between Meredith and Lisa? Am I the only one?
No, I
was there.
I felt it.
It was there. And Lisa even said something, and it seems like they may have cut out a little bit of it because they were currently filming, and they are currently filming season 2 right now.
Okay.
So I wonder if it was a teaser or something like that. But she goes, because I found it strange that Lisa and Meredith weren't sitting next to each other.
Me too. They're supposed to be best friends.
And they were on opposite sides.
And they were on opposite sides of the couch. And so Lisa at one point was like screaming about something or another. I don't remember. It was like episode 1 or 2. And she was pointing at Meredith and saying, you're going to, like, you have already been believing what those two have been saying about me. You guys are bad weather. Whitney and Heather, bad weather, tornado.
Literally, I don't know why. Okay, I sat there and I'm like, I bet she probably thought of that about 3 days before the show started. Yeah. And that's when she wanted to spit that out.
Yeah, Lisa was just contrived to me.
Yeah, but I do think that maybe in season 2, I think that there's something going on between Lisa and Meredith. Or it could be the fact that Lisa in Vegas agreed with all of them and said that she was done with Jen. And then immediately when they got back to Salt Lake City, met up with Jen and was like, yes, like, I believe you, all this stuff. And it's like, if Meredith is your best friend, and Jen is running around talking about your friend's marriage that you say you're so connected to and it would just break your heart if they got a divorce, why are you now still supporting her and defending her like so hard? Like she's going so hard for Jen.
Yep.
And I'm sure Meredith is like, where was this when she was talking about my marriage?
Facts.
Oh, and question here, it's kind of random, but when Jen left, did Lisa chased after her, didn't she? In the hotel too? Why weren't you chasing after your friend who was literally like, I just need to step away from this?
Yeah. Because I don't know. People are just like enamored with Jen.
But specifically at this point, like Lisa is.
Yeah.
And why?
I don't know. No one understands that friendship.
I don't get it. Because you,
maybe
again,
they both have a plan
highly...
to come back season 2. Oh, like different.
But it's so strange because Lisa named herself like the queen of whatever, Sundance. Is it Sundance?
Yes,
I think
so. Yeah.
And Salt Lake City or something like that. And so if you have all this power in Salt Lake City, why are you so enamored with Jen?
I think it goes back to what you were
She's
saying,
insecure.
though.
She always needs validation from other people.
True. But, like, you even said, like, the two, like, most looked at characters or people on the show...
Oh, we're Heather and Jen.
Were Heather and Jen, and Heather and Jen sat next to Andy.
Yep.
And
She
when
can't
she
go with Heather.
didn't... Exactly.
True.
That'd be
she's
backtracking
thinking,
her whole
right.
story.
I think she's truly trying to take Heather's place because she thought that would be her spot on the show, like what you were saying. That's what I think. I think she's trying to weasel her way in into a friendship with Jen, trying to be all genuine, like, I care about her feelings. I can't just let her go when she's crying like that, like, meh, meh, meh. And it's, again, okay, do that, but don't have, what is the word? Like a motive to be doing that.
Yeah, she just strikes me as someone who is very insecure and, like, convinces everyone around her that she's, like, very secure.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. But
yeah, which is a good thing,
Yeah.
but there's a point where it's almost like she seeks so much validation from everyone. That's why she's always talking about her company, trying to hype it up. She's just trying to feel like she's a part of that world when maybe she doesn't feel like she's worthy of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do also think that she has downplayed the reaction that the church has had about the show. Because when Whitney and Heather were talking about, the church is not happy about this show. The church is not proud of how it's being represented. And Lisa keeps going, no, but we're Mormon 2.0, blah, 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 like all these things. I think that she recognizes that there is judgment towards her and she's trying to downplay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I thought it was interesting, there was I don't remember what was the question that was asked. I think it goes back to, like, when they were asking about the divorce rate in the Mormon community and, or just in Utah, or excuse me, in Salt Lake, all that. And how Whitney and Heather were trying to answer the question, like, and then Lisa comes in and she was just trying to, like, almost not answer the question.
Yeah.
Like, trying not to discuss the church.
Yeah.
But, like, Heather and Whitney are both, like, still continuing to talk, and you just see Lisa's face just turn, like...
Yeah, she was pissed that they were saying that the church frowns upon divorce.
Yeah.
She was really angry that they were saying that. And that,
it's like, but that's the truth, I feel like, in a lot of religions,
because
not
even,
just...
Yeah,
the
even
Mormon
Justin,
church.
Whitney's husband, getting emotional over,
Which broke my heart.
Yeah.
you know, how they were kicked out of the church. And obviously they recognized what they did was wrong, but just how it all went down.
Yeah.
I felt as though Lisa was also just completely like, okay, yeah, no, but you're trying to paint the church in a bad light, and that's not how it really is. But it's like, you can't discredit my experiences.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just
You can't
because
do that.
you've had a better experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay, we can't not talk about Mary.
Yeah, we have to talk about Mary.
And the comments that she made, because I was very shocked at some of the things that she said.
Yeah, me too.
In particular, talking about her husband and skin complexion.
Oh.
I was a little confused by that.
Yeah, because it almost made it seem like she was saying that her husband is white, and he's clearly not white.
Like
he's light skinned, but
Yeah.
he's not white. And when she was saying, you know, I'm not really attracted to, I don't know, it's just within the Black community, there is already a division between light skin and dark skin and the hierarchy. And it goes back to slave times and who was working in the field and who was in the house. And there's this theory that I won't get too much into, but it's intentional in the fact that it's still alive and well within the Black community today. And it was just perpetuated by Mary on this show. Is very frustrating. Because she has a Black son as well.
Yep.
And I just think a lot of the things that she was saying was very harmful.
Yeah.
It's also strange to me that she has her family working for her as servants.
Yeah.
Very strange.
That was very weird. I
was
didn't know
just
how to
like,
react to
I
that
didn't know
one.
that.
I didn't either.
realize the woman who's in her massive room with all this
Closet.
clothes
It's her family.
is her. Yeah.
And she makes her wear a maid's outfit.
No, she degrades them.
Yes, and the fact that, okay.
But then she thinks she's a hero. Because she's providing them work.
She pays their rent
Yes.
I'm like, okay,
in
but
an apartment while you live in a palace.
Right.
you make
I'm
it very evident, like, I have money, but
do what I do. You better do what I say, or I'm not going to take care of you.
No, it
Also,
was
the
so
way that
strange.
she talked about the weight gain of her church members, she's like, "Oh, you look healthy. Oh, you need to stop eating." Like it was like one of the last things that she said before the episode ended.
Oh, shoot, I think I missed that.
And I think because it was like two men that she said it to, that's why I didn't get like the response that it would have been if it was two women.
But you know what?
But still,
men struggle with eating disorders all the time.
I know.
In our society, we overlook that 24/7.
We don't talk about it.
No, we don't.
Because men don't go through stuff like that.
Even when Heather brought it up, was it Heather or Lisa that brought it up, and they were like, "Mary, no, you are disrespectful or rude." And Mary was like, who can say that I was rude to them?" And then Lisa, I think it was Lisa, and she was like, "I've seen things of you and how you talk to your church members." And that's when Mary was like, "Do not talk about my church." Blah, blah.
I get frustrated with her because she's the type of person that's like, I have an opinion, I can voice my opinion, but and how you react to what I'm saying is not my problem.
Yeah, that's your personal problem.
Yeah, and that's so toxic to me. Like, okay, then fine, everyone has an opinion, but you should care how you make other people feel around you. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean it's right. It's called an opinion for a reason.
And the 7-Eleven comment.
Yeah, it's just...
It was very ignorant. And, like, I think the fact that she's in charge of a Pentecostal church and that she is Black and that her grandma and Robert Sr. used to have soul food restaurants. She feels like, oh no, I can say these things and it's not harmful.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
It is harmful for you to say that if you see Black men outside of a 7-Eleven that you're not going to go to that 7-Eleven. As a woman, can I understand being uncomfortable seeing a group of men outside of a 7-Eleven? Yes, but when you say specifically Black men, and then when Andy asks you about it and he's talking about if it was white men and she's saying like, oh no, like I would be fine or I would feel safe. It's just it's frustrating.
And it's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
To be, what?
She has a Black son.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's like people are going to perceive
you have
your
a Black
son.
husband.
Yeah.
Like,
what if your son was outside of 7-Eleven? It just doesn't make any sense. And it's harmful.
Yes.
It's ignorant.
Yeah.
But, and also it was like really telling because I think Andy was like, do you love your husband? Do you have a good relationship? And she was like, yes, I do, as she's crying. And she was also like, shaking her head no but saying yes, which is like the first indication that like you're lying, like you're not really expressing your true thoughts. And I just thought like that's really sad. Like I think her and Robert Sr. have a great partnership and like working relationship, but she's not in love with him. And I do feel bad because you can tell that like she's not happy, like and it's just sad because like they were asking her like, oh, do you love your husband? And she was like crying, like saying yes, and it's like that's not.
But was I the only one that like caught on to her? Like she like was crying and then she was saying that he buys her.
Yes. No. She likes what he
buys
provides.
Chanel.
He pays for her life. Like,
I think that she doesn't want to come off as unappreciative.
Right.
And that she recognizes that the reason that she has the lifestyle that she has is because of him.
She's grateful for him.
Yeah. Yes.
She's just not sexually or romantically in love with him.
Exactly.
And that's an okay thing to admit. But like she doesn't want to say that.
Right.
Because I wonder if he is.
I don't even think that he is. I really think that it's because of the church, but I will say that I did get a little emotional when he was saying that he views her as a partner in the church because within many religions and many churches, women are not viewed as equal or as being able to have a position of power and leadership within the church. And the fact that he admitted, like, I completely see her as my equal, I did get emotional over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even if they're not in a loving, like, romantic relationship, they've found a great companionship in each other. And you can still have an amazing life, a fulfilled life with that.
Yeah. And I do think that they respect each other.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see really quick if there's anything else that I had in my notes.
Yeah.
Meredith's bejeweled face mask. They filmed that scene 1 week before the country went on lockdown.
That's right.
Isn't that telling?
Yeah.
It's like foreshadowing.
That's really funny, actually.
I really think that we talked about everything that I had notes on.
Yeah, I feel good.
My
I'm
last
good.
question for you guys was, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Okay.
how would you rate your first season of Real Housewives?
I will say I'd give it an 8 or a 9.
Oh,
Okay.
that's nice.
8.5. Let's say
Okay.
8.5.
I'd say 7.
Wow.
I
Okay.
really enjoyed it. My only issue is that it's so dramatic for
Yeah.
me that sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, and I
Okay.
get super frustrated with like, oh, and I just see like all these dynamics, and I do a lot of breaks with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I love the reunion.
Oh, you see, yeah. The reunion was
so-
a new taste of just
Yeah.
wows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. Yeah. 8.5.
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch people act like children though sometimes.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. And then I just like want to
yes.
therapize them, and I'm like, no, I can't. So like I'm just like
Just
sitting
let
here.
them live their life.
Yeah. So I was watching with Noah, and he's like, okay, that's enough. That we got to get through the episode. You can't pause it every 2 seconds and make an insight. I'm like, okay, you're right.
Yeah, I would rate it probably an 8. I
Okay.
think this was a really good first season. This is not my first season of Real Housewives.
No.
But I do want to really quickly end with a quote of a tweet that I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, please.
This person said, I have found that there are 2 types of people in this world. Bachelor Nation people and Real Housewives people.
I'm sorry, yeah.
And I'm proud to say I'm a Real Housewives person.
I think I'm a Real Housewives person.
I'm Bachelor Nation, but I really hate Bachelor Nation because it's toxic at its finest. So
Well, guys.
Go get some dry ass meatballs like they ended the show.
oh my god.
I know. I was thinking there were gonna be some sauce on that
I was like,
meatballs.
that
Like, they
looks
looked
very
frozen.
dry.
No,
Very
it was bad. Oh, real quick, the set, gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And then the snow.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my-
I mean, it was over the top, but I wanted to be there.
Nobody commented on Mary eating the fake snow.
Oh.
Did anybody catch
Oh,
that?
I saw that.
And
but-
she was
I
like,
didn't see that.
and then she
like,
got one and she went.
she's like, that's not real snow.
I
No,
truly
it's
mean
not
this.
real
Mary's
snow.
not all here.
She's not.
I mean that in the nicest way. I think she's disassociate some days.
She's not, but I'm interested to see more of her in
Me
season
too.
2.
I'm very excited. When does
Yes.
season 2 come back? Does anyone know?
Probably a year. Probably like
I'm
next
sorry, when?
November. Yeah.
Oh
You mean
my
this November?
Oh yeah, November 2021 probably.
Oh my god. All right. Well, guys, we got some time.
Yep, we do.
Till next time.
Well. Oh.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to take it
Yeah,
away again.
Sorry,
like,
guys.
don't-
Oh.
I set that up perfectly.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wait, hold on. Retake.
I'm a little.
Till next time.
Wait, but
Don't you have to say, don't forget to.
Thank you.
Okay, well, oh my.
Okay, friends. God, Megan.
Oh,
Don't
gosh.
forget to subscribe, rate, and review, and share our podcast with your closest.
I'm sorry I was doing your job. I'm sorry that I was doing your job.
You can find us on social media at Sippin' Through Life, and then you can find me at Gabby Colazzo.
And you can find me on Instagram at Life of Diani.
And I will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Have a good week, guys.
Till next time, Seepers.
Bye. Till next time.
I'm sorry I snapped at you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.